Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to walk you through a complete, step-by-step guide on how to replace the front brake pads and rotors on a Hyundai Elantra. This is a super common maintenance item, and with a little bit of patience and the right tools, you can definitely tackle this job yourself and save a bunch of money. So, if you're ready to get your hands dirty, let's get started. First up, let's talk about preparation. Having everything ready to go makes the job so much smoother. You'll need your new brake pads and rotors, of course. For tools, you'll want a good jack and a pair of sturdy jack stands. Safety is non-negotiable. Grab a lug wrench, a socket set with a ratchet, a caliper piston compression tool, and some high-temperature brake grease. And speaking of safety, before you even think about lifting the car, make sure you're on a flat, level surface and chock the rear wheels to prevent any rolling. Your safety is always the #1 priority. Alright, let's get into the actual repair. The first step is to crack the lug nuts loose on both front wheels while the car is still on the ground. Just break them free. Don't remove them completely. Now, position your jack on the car's designated lift point and raise the front end. Once it's high enough, slide your jack stands into place on the frame rails and slowly lower the car onto them. Give the car a good shake to make sure it's stable before you proceed. With the car securely in the air, you can go ahead and remove the lug nuts and take the wheel off. Now you have a clear view of the brake assembly. We need to remove the brake caliper first. You'll find two bolts on the back of the caliper, usually called slider pins. Loosen and remove these bolts. The caliper should now slide off the rotor. Don't let it hang by the brake line. That can cause serious damage. Rest it securely on the lower control arm or use a bungee cord to hang it from the suspension spring. With the caliper out of the way, you can easily pull the old brake pads out of the caliper bracket. They just slide right out. Next, we need to remove the caliper bracket itself. There are two larger bolts on the back holding it to the steering nutter. These can be pretty tight, so you might need some extra leverage. Once those bolts are out, the bracket comes right off. Now for the rotor. It should just pull off, but sometimes they get stuck on the hub due to rust. If yours is stubborn, look for two small threaded holes on the face of the rotor. You can thread a couple of bolts into these holes, and as you tighten them, they will push the rotor off the hub for you. It's a neat little trick. With the old rotor off, take a wire brush and clean any rust or debris off the wheel hub surface. A clean surface ensures the new rotor sits perfectly flat. Now, slide your new rotor onto the hub. It's time to start reassembling. Bolt the caliper bracket back onto the steering knuckle and make sure those bolts are nice and tight. Before we put the new pads in, we have to deal with the caliper piston. Since the new pads are thicker, you need to push the piston back into the caliper. This is where the caliper piston tool comes in handy. Simply place it inside the caliper and slowly turn the handle to compress the piston until it's flush. Now, apply a thin layer of brake grease to the contact points on the back of your new brake pads and on the metal clips in the caliper bracket. This prevents squeaking. Slide the new pads into the bracket. We're in the home stretch. Place the caliper back over the new pads and reinstall the two slider pin bolts you removed earlier. Make sure they are tightened properly. Now you can put the wheel back on and hand tighten the lug nut. Repeat the exact same process on the other side of the car. Once both sides are done, raise the car slightly with the jack, remove the jack stand, and lower the vehicle back to the ground. Now, you absolutely must torque the lug nuts to the manufacturer's specification using a torque wrench. This is a critical safety step. Before you drive anywhere, get in the car and pump the brake pedal several times. It will feel soft at first, but it will firm up as the caliper pistons push the new pads against the rotors. Finally, take the car for a safe, slow test drive in an area with no traffic, making a few gentle stops to bed in the new brakes. And that's it. You successfully replaced your own front brakes. I hope this guide was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more DIY car repair videos.